my lemon caper deviled eggs.
I love that.
Oh, I love deviled eggs.
Deviled eggs just scream spring, too. I think that they've got to be on your spring table for a feast,
I would
for
agree.
sure. It's not a party at my house without deviled eggs. I've maybe made them on here once or twice, but, you know, gonna do a little different version. So, I've got my boiled egg whites here. What I like to do is I make this completely, and then before serving, that's when I fill it. So I cut the eggs. I've got a few left here. Separate the yellow and the white.
Is that a 12-minute egg, Katie?
I usually do about 10 minutes, actually. You know, I like to bring the water to a boil and then add the eggs.
Yep.
I think that makes it a lot easier to peel. I always get questions on social media
Plus, you don't get that
about
green,
peeling
funky
eggs.
thing around.
Yeah, I think that that's
the
the
secret.
easiest way to do it. So just pop those out, and then I put them in my deviled egg plate because I have a deviled egg plate. I love
Of course
those.
you do.
I got it at a yard sale.
Of course you do.
And this, I just cover in plastic wrap and put it in the fridge until it's serving time. Now let's get started on our filling. So into the food processor. I like creamy deviled eggs, so I use a food
see.
processor.
Do you need this
can
chopped?
use just a fork though. Yeah, I'm gonna use that for garnish, so just give me like a rough chop on
Rough
it.
chop in.
And also zest that lemon for me, because these are lemon caper deviled eggs.
Of course.
So I always do a quick pulse of the yolks first before I add in the mayonnaise. I think it gives you a better texture. It helps you achieve that creaminess faster. Mayonnaise. Now, I suppose if you wanted to be lighter, I have done this before, you use half Greek yogurt, half mayonnaise. So
Wow.
it does work. And then I'm gonna add in a clove of grated garlic.
I like the Greek yogurt, or even maybe sour cream idea.
Sour cream would work
Half
too.
and half.
Yeah. It adds just a little tang to it that's nice. Yellow mustard. I love yellow mustard. Again, I think it adds a nice tang. You could totally use Dijon in this. Capers. I love that brininess of the caper. Little salt, little pep. Lemon zest. This just brightens the whole thing up. All right, so now I'm gonna puree this until it gets nice and creamy. All right, so now, time to transfer this. Now, if you have a fancy pastry piping bag, which I never do, you can use it, or you can just take a gallon zip top bag, put it into a glass. That makes this so much easier to put it into a glass. And then transfer it. Because if you're trying to hold the bag and transfer, it just gets everywhere.
You'll be left holding the bag.
Yeah. All right, so slowly in.
You know what I'm thinking of right now? Like, wouldn't that be a great spread for like a ham sandwich?
Oh my gosh,
So
that'd be
good.
so good.
I love deviled eggs, just so we're clear.
day.
Right?
Yeah, I can't ever get enough.
All right, there we go. Now, just gonna close this up.
Need a scissor?
Uh-huh. And this is how you make your own little
That's a clever
piping
idea,
bag.
right?
Oh, I love this. You don't have a pastry bag.
Yeah,
You know, there you go.
don't need it. And then just snip off the very end. Okay. Now it's time to fill. So what I do, I put this into the refrigerator. This is in the refrigerator just before serving time. Get it out, snip that end, and fill up your eggs. Just like that. Aren't they pretty? I've got some paprika here. I'm gonna just do a little, ooh, a lot came out.
Oh.
Oh gosh. We're getting crazy with a couple
Getting
of
crazy?
these. All right, I'm gonna hit him with some parsley. You know, I get questions about, you did a real rough chop on this
You
parsley.
said rough chop.
Yeah. Teasing. I get a lot of questions when I post deviled eggs on my deviled egg plate about what you're supposed to do in the middle here. You can fill it up with more eggs, or I like to put a little crudité in there. So like maybe some sliced radishes and celery, and if you have extra of your egg filling, put a little in the center and put some radishes around it. People can dip in it. Or if you don't want to do that, put this in the fridge and like Geoffrey said, put it on a ham sandwich.
Oh my God,
Delicious. Yeah.
So good. Best condiment in the
Delicious.
world.
All right, Alex, would you like a deviled egg? I'll serve
course.
you.
Of course. I'm gonna take a really heavily.
Real paprika one.
Yeah, it's a verb to paprika.
It is. Geoffrey, would you like it?
Yeah, sure. Could I have one with mint?
I might go fork with this.
I'll do this. Oh. I'm gonna go spoon.
You know what's so funny? I ate with a fork. He ate with a spoon, and you took it in your hands.
Yeah.
Deviled eggs are so personal. You know what I love? The white is just pure. And then the caper just comes in with this salty punch. You get that little bit of spice on top. It's so beautifully balanced and seasoned. The lemon, the parsley, the capers.
It's one of the best deviled eggs I've ever had.
Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you.
I would love this with a thin slice, transparent smoked salmon on top.
Oh, yeah.
One bite.
Zucchini caprese sliders. These are beautiful and scrumptious and fresh and flavorful, and they happen to be very low carb, so that's a bonus. I just grilled a bunch of zucchini slices. I brushed them with a little olive oil and sprinkled them with salt and pepper. They're so pretty, and I took them off the grill before they got too flimsy and mushy. Now I'm gonna make a delicious dressing that goes in the sliders, and it starts with about a cup of mayonnaise, give or take, and a few tablespoons of jarred pesto. The mixture of pesto and mayo is pretty much my favorite condiment. I use it all the time. I'm gonna stir it a little bit, and then I'll splash in some red wine vinegar just to give it a little bit of a tang. And I'll stir it until it's combined. This kind of light party food is one of my favorite categories of food in general. If I didn't have 2 football-playing teenagers and a busy cattle rancher at home, I would eat like this all the time. Okay, that looks fantastic. Now I'm gonna grab a couple of slices of the zucchini, and I'll start building these things. I've got a big block of mozzarella, and I'll cut a slice, and then I'll cut the slice in half, and then I need a slice of tomato. These are great because you can make 2 or 3 sliders, or you can make a big old platter full, depending on how many people you need to feed. Okay, to put them together, I'll just grab a spoonful of the pesto mayo, and I don't like to be shy with this stuff. I really want to taste it. The mozzarella and tomato and zucchini are delicious, but they're really mild, so this dressing just makes them so flavorful. And then I'll take one of the half slices of mozzarella and a slice of tomato. And if a little bit of that pesto mayo runs over the side, that's a good thing because it means it's gonna be delicious. Now I have a pile of beautiful basil leaves, so I'll put a whole leaf right on top of the tomato. And then a little bit more of the pesto mayo on the top slice of zucchini. And put that upside down. Look at that. I want the sliders to stay together on my trip to town, so I'll stick in a toothpick to hold it together. So pretty. I'll finish the sliders with a drizzle of balsamic glaze and a sprinkling of basil leaves.
Hasselback tomatoes. We're gonna make these little thin wedge cuts, so one down, and then, see that? The chopsticks kind of help guide you, and then you're gonna take a nice little thin one there, and you're gonna make a bunch of these cuts just like that. Next, fresh basil, a little fresh mozzarella, and you're gonna wedge those right in there, just like I've done there. And of course, we're not done yet. Every great Caprese or Hasselback tomato needs a little drizzle of balsamic glaze.
That is fantastic.
Beautiful.
A simply lovely addition to any summer plate.
I'm making my Antipasto salad with prosciutto-wrapped breadsticks. I'm gonna make the dressing first, and I'm gonna start with 2 tablespoons of olive brine, since I'm gonna be topping the salad with a bunch of olives. And this is gonna add really nice acidity and a lot of salt. So I'm not gonna need to add any more salt after the brine. I'll add a teaspoon of mustard, add that little zinginess. I'll whisk this together, and as I whisk, I'm gonna drizzle in some olive oil. Okay, this says thicken, it's creamy. I'm gonna add some black pepper. And that's it for the dressing. I'll grab the greens. I'm using a mix of spinach and arugula here. Spinach is just great and tender, and arugula gives that awesome peppery bite. I wanna toss it with my dressing, and I'm doing it now because once all of the antipasto toppings are on there, I don't wanna have to toss it because they're so pretty as they are. I'll get these completely coated. And I always use a nice big, wide serving platter for this. And now I'll pretty up this salad with some beautiful antipasto elements. Here are all my favorite foods, a bunch of cheese and loads of meat, and now I'm gonna pile them on top of these grains. I'm gonna start with some Parmesan cheese, and I love to really bite into my Parmesan cheese, so rather than grating it, I've crumbled it, and I'm gonna keep all of the toppings in their own little piles. That way people can grab the things that they like and arrange their own salad adventure. Next, I'd like to do the olives. Ugh, I love olives. I used to hate olives, but learning to love olives is just part of becoming a grown-up. I'll add some roasted red peppers for color and smokiness. I like the salad in the dead of winter when it's sometimes hard to come across good fresh vegetables. It's a good standby. A few creamy artichokes. A big ol' handful of salty, fatty salami. You'll find me at this section of the salad plate. Some pickled sweet peppers. Wow, these are so bright. Some juicy tomatoes. Put them right next to the Parmesan because tomatoes need a little salt and Parmesan is really salty. Perfect pair. I'm leaving a section in the center for some marinated mozzarella balls because they look really cute. I'll tear them up and plop them in the middle. So this salad is inspired by this gigantic antipasto spread at this restaurant right behind Carnegie Hall. I used to go there with my dad after he would play concerts there, and it was the best thing ever. There was so much cheese and meat. And now there's one last open spot. I'll slice up a sweet pear. I'll pile these right on and drizzle them with a little balsamic glaze. It's sweet and sticky and really pretty. And now comes the time when I get to wrap these breadsticks with prosciutto, which is really good. They get a little soft when they're wrapped in prosciutto because they soak up the fat, and they're fun to eat. So I'm gonna take half a slice of prosciutto and just wrap it around a breadstick. Just like that. I'll plop this on the salad and then keep unwrapping. Prosciutto is so good. How pretty is this? And now for the final touch, I'll tear some fresh basil all over. Fresh basil makes me feel like I'm in Italy. I don't think anyone's gonna notice if I have a bite. A little mozzarella, a little salami, an olive. This is the salad of my dreams.
This is my triple tomato salad, which could be quadruple, or what's the word for 5?
Quintuple.
Yes. So at the end of the season, tomatoes are everywhere, right? So the tomatoes you thought were ripe are now overripe. The tomatoes that are overripe are on the way out. So this is kind of a way to use all of them. And I like tomatoes plain and in a salad, but I love the texture of them cooked, raw, and marinated. So that's what we're doing. So we're taking the tomatoes that aren't so great. And these little cherry tomatoes that are like, they're good, but they're not really as good as they should be. We're gonna roast them, okay? In a 350-degree oven. Very simple, until I like to say they give it up. They're just like, okay, I'm done. I'm done. Right? Throw a little olive oil, throw the tomatoes, a little smoked sea salt or regular sea salt, some dried thyme, which I love for roasting, and a few pieces of garlic. This is not confit of tomatoes. This is just a quick roast. You put it in there and you leave it alone for about 20 minutes, just like that, all right?
All right.
350, and that is what you have. You see they've sort of given it up? Kind of crinkly, but really nice. And what the beauty of this is that stuff on the bottom. We want to keep that. That is really gorgeous. So I'm going to put that aside for step 1. Step 2, we're going to make a marinated salad. Now, these are those jelly bean tomatoes that are just like you keep eating them and you can't stop. They're so sweet. They're usually orange or yellow, and they call them grape or jelly beans. There's all kinds of names. These are really fresh. First, I'm going to make a little vinaigrette with a little bit of honey, some mustard, and a little bit of Calabrian chili.
This guy,
Just a touch.
Favorite.
Joey Calabrese over here from the old neighborhood.
and a little bit of white wine vinegar and olive oil. That's it. And it's done, right? So you're just gonna take this, let it sit, maybe a little salt and pepper, okay? And that is the marinade. So we're gonna just cut the rest of them up. And now we have 2 tomatoes working. So 2 of our 3 are done, okay?
Geoffrey, my favorite tip that you ever taught here on the kitchen was when you made a BLT and you sliced the tomatoes and you took the tomato juice left on the board and brushed it on the bacon.
Yes,
There you go.
I remember.
Okay, so in that I put a few raw red onions,
Wow.
you know, and I'm gonna put that in there and leave it sort of to marinate. And that's step 2. Boom. So this is, you know, heirloom tomatoes, which means?
It's like original OG tomato from the ye old yesteryears. Original seeds.
Yeah,
Yes.
Of the plant.
60 years or something.
Yeah.
We're gonna cut it down around. You're gonna hold the core with your finger, go around the core. Very important, this piece is the best part of the tomato, right there. That piece, to me. I like to put that aside and save it. And then,
It's like the oyster of
Yeah.
the tomato.
I sort of trim them up just a bit, and we won't throw any of this away. This is
I love
beautiful.
these heirloom tomatoes. When you go to the
look at that
farm
color,
stand,
right?
and there's all these different ones.
Oh, look at that.
Beautiful.
Hue.
So with the tomato, I just want to show you that piece there. Isn't that beautiful? It almost looks like a melon, right?
So pretty.
Oh,
So the fresh is going to be on top. The marinated and the roast are going to be sort of spread around. So every bite, you have a little bit of a different style of tomato. So for this, just to loosen it, I'm going to put a touch of vinegar on the bottom. This just to loosen it. And all of that tomato and salt has just created this gorgeous little vinaigrette. And we're just going to drop it down. And you could just see that these tomatoes now have like sort of dehydrated and become more intense.
So important when you marinate things to stir them right before you
Yes.
plate.
Oh. And then we're just gonna have some fun with this because these just deserve one thing, and that's salt and olive oil, like you said
amen to
earlier,
that.
because they are so beautiful.
Maybe some of that smoked sea salt you had over there would be good. Are you gonna do it?
I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, buddy.
And then I like dill on tomatoes. I don't know why.
So good.
I love dill. And a few pieces of basil. So I just like to throw a few on top. And there you have our 3 expressions or 3-part tomato salad, roasted, marinated.
Uh-oh, someone's dipping in already.
Ready to
Someone's
go on this.
Sharpening
Okay,
her
so there you
fork.
have that. Isn't that pretty?
That is
Beautiful,
beautiful. Jeff.
beautiful.
I mean,
Katie, I'm gonna give you a little,
Yes, I really want to try this.
seared piece of fish, like a sea bass with that would be
that,
very
yeah.
good.
there you are, Katie.
I can't wait to try this.
Look at that.
Why, thank you. Look how beautiful that is. Gosh, I wouldn't expect anything less, though, of a Geoffrey Zakarian tomato salad.
Now, what's acceptable to add to this? Can I add some shrimp?
You want
Can I
to-
add mozzarella?
If you want a small piece of burrata, we go with this, but texturally, this should be enough.
Geoffrey, the way that you added the roasted in there, the marinated, which has such a zing from the vinegar and their own natural acidity, and then paired it with the dill and the basil, I don't need anything else. Like, I can just end the meal. The starter is plenty. I mean, star, A+.
Thank you.
Love it, love it.
Tortilla pinwheels, and I'm gonna make them 3 ways. Okay, so I'm starting with the cream cheese mixture, and this is gonna go on all 3 tortillas. It's just a mixture of cream cheese and pesto. So then I have 3 different colors of tortilla. Look, isn't that fun?
Wow.
I'm gonna start with the spinach, and I'm gonna take probably 1/3 of the cream cheese mixture, which looks like a lot, and then I'm gonna spread it out until it totally covers the tortilla. And these get rolled up and sliced, so you just wanna make sure the cream cheese mixture goes to the very, very edge. Otherwise, you will wind up with lonely, sad, depressing end pieces that don't have any substance whatsoever, literally. Okay, and so this is gonna be a veggie version. So I've got sun-dried tomatoes, and I'm just gonna sprinkle everything over. Now I've got some artichoke hearts, and they're chopped really fine. And then my weakness, olives. and then some chopped spinach. You want to roll them up and then just put them seam side down. Okay, second tortilla pinwheel is going to be sort of a meaty variety. So on goes the cream cheese. Okay, so I got it on the plain tortilla. So now I've got a mixture of pepperoni. Yum, yum.
Is this a charcuterie wrap?
That's what this is, a charcuterie wrap.
Ding, ding, ding.
Salami. But you're getting the point here that you can basically open your fridge. I've got some prosciutto. This is kind of elevated here. Just whatever you have works in a tortilla pinwheel. Swiss cheese. Alex for the win, calling this a charcuterie tortilla wrap, tortilla pinwheel. Okay, so I'll wrap this up. And when you do roll it up, you want to tuck as you go. So then when you get to the point of slicing it, you don't have like big gaps in the center. Now, really the secret to these is making them ahead of time and then popping them in the fridge. So I'm doing a spicy version, and this is a jalapeno cheddar tortilla, which is kind of exciting. And then I just have these sweet mini peppers that you buy in the grocery store in bags, sliced thin, and some hot cherry peppers. And those go over. And then some arugula, which is sort of inherently spicy. And then pepper jack cheese. And then roll this up. Okay, so 3 kinds of tortilla pinwheels. Check it out, Paige.
So beautiful. I love the color.
Spicy, veggie, and just charcuterie. So, hold that thought. I'm gonna slice them up, but I've already got some that I made and they're in the fridge.
Oh.
I actually made these yesterday, so the tortillas are just kind of soft and at one with all of the ingredients. Okay, things are about to get exciting. I'm gonna unwrap and slice all of these and then put them on the platter. Well, I ran out of platter space, but look at these, Paige.
That's
Look how cute. It looks like a sushi board. Isn't that beautiful?
It's beautiful.
Which one should I eat?
That one.
The spicy one? Okay.
Yeah.
Winner.
You know what I like best about tomatoes and burrata? It's so elegant. So I'm starting with a pint of heirloom cherry tomatoes, and I'm cutting them in half, and I just cut them through the stem. The heirloom tomatoes, because the seeds have been handed down from generation to generation, and they have incredible colors and flavors. You can actually grow these yourself. Just get heirloom tomato seeds and grow them in the ground or in pots. So easy. So that's the tomatoes. So next is the burrata. And what burrata is, it's mozzarella with a very soft center. I'll show you when I cut it. And this is enough for 2. It always comes in water to stay moist. And I'm gonna cut it in half, and you'll see the center is really creamy. And what I do is put the creamy side down on the plate, just like that. You're not gonna believe how easy this dish is to make. And then I'm gonna put the tomatoes right around. It'll look gorgeous, it's gonna be delicious. It's a really nice lunch or a first course before dinner. Look how pretty this looks. Okay, I'm gonna drizzle it with olive oil. Don't even need to make a vinaigrette. Just do it right on the plate. Sprinkle it with sea salt. I use sea salt like a finishing salt. Fleur de sel, a little pepper. And some basil, because of course you have to have basil with tomatoes and mozzarella. I mean, sometimes you can even just take small basil leaves and put them right on, or tear them. But I think it looks pretty also to chiffonade them. So that's what I'm gonna do. This is a real summer dish. You don't want to turn on the stove. You've got something on the grill. The perfect first course. A little basil around. And then the last ingredient's really important. It's really good syrupy balsamic vinegar. And I'm just going to drizzle it right over the top. It's sweet, it's acidic, it's everything you could possibly want in a tomato mozzarella and basil salad.
Iron Chef spicy shrimp cocktail. So, 2 bay leaves, water, no salt, none, 0, peppercorns. End of story.
Bold!
Right here, I have my shrimp. They're U16, U12, U11, it's per pound. So if U16 are slightly smaller, U8s are jumbos, big ones. Anything too big, it becomes like a first course entree. It's chewy, it's too much shrimp at one time. Yeah. This is something you should dip with the tail into the sauce, eat it, throw this tail away, and go back for more right away.
So just to clarify, U12 means a pound is under 12 pieces.
Yes.
Is a pound in weight, which is a medium size. So a U8 under 8 is bigger.
Giant.
As the numbers get smaller, the shrimp gets bigger.
U1's a lobster.
Are you ready? Ketchup. Do you use ketchup when you're making this?
Love.
Okay.
What else would you use?
Well, there's other chili sauce and stuff like that.
No.
I use
That's
ketchup.
the best.
Okay.
The shinier, the better.
Yeah. Horseradish, like so much, it's ridiculous.
Jeffrey, that is a lot of
Yes, it is.
horseradish.
Okay, be careful. Hot sauce,
Who are you?
a little bit of chili,
Oh, a little chili
sweet chili
sauce.
glaze, yeah.
Chili glaze. Wow.
Lemon juice. Whoa. Worcestershire sauce.
There it is from the hometown.
I can't with the sweet chili sauce. That really surprised me. I
That's
love
it.
that.
So it should not appear red. It should appear almost like that. You see that? We're gonna let that sit and hang out. Now, our shrimp are going in.
Uh-oh.
Right here. I let that cook just for a little bit just to get some of that. It's changed color. The peppercorn has changed color of the water. In boiling water. And now what we're gonna do is the most important thing. I don't keep my shrimp on ice. I don't put my shrimp in an ice bath after because guess what they soak up? Water.
Water.
And I put them in the fridge after I cook them on this right away.
No shocking.
No shocking whatsoever because it's another step. It's another waste of water and waste of time and a dish you gotta prepare. It shouldn't be hard to do this. This shrimp was thawed in the fridge overnight. I bought it peeled, cleaned, ready to go, frozen.
Wow.
Okay? You don't have to buy fresh shrimp for this. So now we're just gonna mend, and we're gonna take our time and look at this. You see?
What
right
are
away,
you
they're
doing?
always starting to curl a bit. So if you can see right now, they're starting to get white and translucent. This is gonna take not a lot of time, but you must cook them fully. I would err on the side of, should I say this? Of slightly overcooking them. If you're gonna go this route, be careful, you don't wanna undercook them.
Somebody write down
undercooked
the
shrimp.
date.
The nose heat is getting to his brain, I
Yeah,
think.
I
When you
think.
cut a shrimp in half that's cooked, it should be white the whole time.
You're moving them around a lot as
I
you
am.
cook. Why are you doing that?
Just because they'll cook evenly. This is just a little method. I don't have a lot of water. I don't have this big pot of water.
not a
These
boil.
go right on a paper towel.
You did it.
They're fully cooked. I'm gonna let you just take a smell of that. And you tell me what you smell. Just pass it down.
Just shrimp.
Okay, you don't smell lemon.
You don't spell
Yeah.
Smell the
5,000
shrimp.
exotic, weird.
It smells like shrimp cocktail. The good ones
Old-fashioned.
smell. Old-fashioned.
Shrimp cocktail. In the fridge, just like this, uncovered. In 5 minutes, it cools down. You're ready to serve it. That's it.
Could you blast chill it in the freezer?
Nah, you don't
Feeling
have to do
frisky?
that. Don't waste your time.
All right.
Put some more Sinatra on. Make another martini.
There you go.
'Kay.
That sounds delicious. A dirty martini and a shrimp cocktail?
Oh, nothing like it. Now, I don't put these on ice when I serve them, shock them, or store them. They're always off ice. You put these out in small quantities, not large quantities, so they get eaten, then you take out more small quantities and fill up. You don't put like a whole stuff on ice. I hate them when they're on ice, because invariably you get a piece of ice and you're eating ice.
I hate that.
Okay, you ready? Here's our beautiful spicy sauce. This should destroy my nose. And that's where I like it to be
Wow.
at.
Very aggressive approach.
Jeffrey.
Like your septum's gonna melt.
Here we go.
Ooh.
Ready?
Oh my
Stage
God.
5 clinger.
My mouth is watering.
It is. Snappy. Snappy the shrimp. Uh-oh.
Good. You saw the horseradish. It's not too much. The sweet chili sauce actually tames it down. The long-range effect of this is you want more, and that's what a shrimp cocktail should want you to make. And this is so delicious. This sauce I just made for you, you can make a big batch of it. It's one of these things that lasts, actually gets better. And this is so simple. There's no reason to ever make this and overcook it again.
Taking my inspiration from a traditional Easter favorite, deviled eggs, to make my easy rosemary deviled potatoes. What do you guys think?
Sonny, you could devil just about anything and it would be delicious.
Well, Katie, this is really an homage to you because I know you always say it's not a party unless there are deviled eggs.
That is true.
And since people are used to having like scalloped potatoes maybe around this holiday season, I thought we'd do a mashup of the two and really go mash them up. So I've got some red bliss potatoes in here. We're going to boil them and infuse them with some rosemary. So drop that in there. Nice bit of salt to season it up. And then over the top, some water. You don't get the water hot before you put the potatoes into the pot. You wanna make sure the water and the potatoes and everything else cooks at the same time so the outside and the very inside of the potatoes are nice and tender. And that's what we're going for here, fork tender, so it shouldn't take too long. So I'm gonna start up that pot right there, but let me show you what it looks like. Now, I've got them here on the sheet. It's really smart to bring them out of the pot, but this is what it is here. Find its natural bottom, right? And then just come through and get a nice slice. And that's gonna go into our bowl and become the filling. Just kind of like when you devil the eggs, you wanna scoop out the center. This is gonna remind you of a twice-baked potato that we did not bake twice. We didn't even bake it, okay? We just boil it really quick. And if you get those potatoes in the bag that you can steam, just steam them like maybe 2 minutes under the recommended amount of time, and they'll be perfect for this recipe.
Hey, Sonny, is there a reason you're using Red Bliss potatoes for this?
Yeah, I mean, I like Red Bliss. They're easy to find. I like the waxy, content of them. But you can also use new potatoes that are yellow skin or brown skin, if you will. And I like to do this with 3 pounds, but a half recipe is great for your backyard party. Okay, so they're in our food processor here. What I'm gonna add to that to add some flavor, now remember they're already infused with the rosemary, so a little bit of lemon zest. And then it could be sour cream or what I love to use, which is whole fat Greek yogurt. And then to that, some grained Dijon mustard. Get that in there.
Those are great flavors. I like the combination of lemon, rosemary.
I feel like potatoes are good by themselves. You just boil them and sprinkle over some salt and pepper and you're good to go. But if we're gonna make a presentation and we're gonna double them, might as well fill them up with something nice and bright, like a little bit of lemon zest. You can also do orange zest. That would be fun right here as well. But we're just keeping it simple with the lemon zest, a little bit of whole fat Greek yogurt, and the whole grain mustard. Now you see, lots of pepper. And then to the side here, just a little bit of that water that we boil the potatoes in. It's gonna help it be a little bit loose so we can pipe it later on, not too much, okay? Now this is a important part. You don't wanna overmix this because it'll become kind of gluey and sticky. So you just wanna turn it on and pulse it. Just mix it. And you see as you get in here, it's getting to that texture where you say to yourself, all right, I can get this into a piping bag and go to town. So that's what we're gonna do right now. And here is everything in here. Remember the tops of the potatoes, little lemon zest. And then you just kind of squeeze it out. See all those little pieces of mustard? Get in there. You gotta give it the curb appeal, so the piping is great. If you don't wanna put this in a plastic bag and cut off the corner, you can always just do what I call the 2-spoon method. All right, over the top, just some chives. And then a little deviled egg curb appeal from my youth. My mom used to always hit the deviled eggs with a little bit of paprika. Now you know this is my hot Hungarian paprika, but you can use sweet or smoked, and just hit it high so everything gets an even distribution of the paprika. And there you have it. Perfect for Easter. We break the rules and make it delicious.
3 things I love about a cheese platter are, first, that it's an entire course at a dinner party, no cooking at all. How great is that? And the second thing I like is when you bring it to the table and put it down in the middle, people just go crazy. It's really simple to do, but it's so impressive. And I think the third thing is, even though it's very elegant, it's really served family style. Everybody helps themselves, and it's really fun. And you know my motto is, if it's not fun, it's not done. So let's make a cheese platter. I'm on the hunt for fig leaves. So the dirty little secret of East Hampton is the season's really too short for the figs to develop, but I use fig leaves for all kinds of things. Platters, cheese trays. They're really great because they're flat and they're big and they're gorgeous. I just take them in, wash them off, dry them, and use them, and you can save them in the fridge. So the first thing I always do with a cheese platter is put down some green leaves. These are fig leaves from my garden, but if you don't have a fig tree in your garden, you can use hydrangea leaves, you can go to the florist and get Galax leaves, whatever you have that's sort of big, green, and flat. Okay, the next thing I always do is I always put a big bunch of grapes right in the middle. It can be a couple of bunches of grapes, actually. The first time I did a cheese platter was like 40 years ago, and my friend Anna Pump was with me. And I don't know what it looked like, but it probably looked like a dog's breakfast. And she came over to me and she said, okay, now take everything off the platter. I was like, okay. And then she said, okay, now put the grapes in the middle, the cheese around the outside, and big blocks of crackers and apricots. And then she said, and stop. Those are two really good lessons, is to do it really simply and beautifully, and then stop. Okay, so we've got a big bunch of grapes in the middle, and then I'm gonna put the cheeses on the outside, as Anna taught me. So I have different kinds of cheeses. I like soft ripening cheeses like brie, like this is one. I have a blue cheese. This is English Stilton, which I adore. And you want the rinds in and the cheese facing out. And this is incredible. This is pecorino with truffles. So it's an Italian cheese that's just so flavorful. And the last one is goat cheese. So now I've got all different shapes and flavors. I've got creamy things, I've got crumbly things, I've got hard, sharp things. And the goat cheese, which is called fleur verte, is a very creamy goat cheese with herbs on the outside. So just put that right there. So now I've got extra space on the platter to put other things. And I love things that like go with cheese. So fresh strawberries are great. So I'm just gonna put a big bunch of fresh strawberries on. And just kind of paint it, you know, just keep it really casual. So when I do a cheese platter, I always do it as a second course. So there's a main course, the cheese course, and dessert. And you want to do it not when you're making filet beef for dinner and like chocolate mousse for dessert, because people will go home holding their bellies going, oh, I'm never eating again. You don't want that. So I always do it when I have something light like fish or a stew, like a fish stew. And then I serve something like granita for dessert, because this is a pretty rich course. So that's strawberries. Then I'm going to do maybe some apricots in the middle. So big blocks of color. You don't want it to look like that original one that I did, which looked like a dog's breakfast. And then I always like other things that taste good with it. So a little fig jam is wonderful. Like the blue cheese and the fig jam is great together. So I'm just going to, I mean, really, this is all store-bought. Just put a little bowl in with fresh fig jam, a little knife, and everybody can help themselves. Sometimes people serve cheese as a first course, like before dinner. I just think people fill up on cheese. You want it to be like a treat after dinner. I love this. I love fig jam and Stilton together. Okay, now crackers. So I have different shaped crackers and different colors of crackers. So I have light crackers like these sticks. They're really delicious, just like that. Just put them right on. And then I have dark crackers that are like little crisp things. So I'm just gonna put them around. I don't even need room, which is exactly when it looks the best, when it's all like full and sumptuous. If you're gonna make a cheese platter for a lot of people, don't get more kinds of cheese, just get bigger pieces. Or cheese platter for a smaller group, the same thing. Smaller pieces of cheese. Okay, I think I'm gonna do one more thing. I like a little height on this brie, so what I'm gonna do is take a little piece of it and just put it right on top. So now it's got a little more height, kind of matches the other ones. And I've got one more thing. I've got a fig ball. This is dried figs. Let's see how this is gonna go on. And I'm gonna open the fig ball, and it's dried and wrapped in fig leaves. And just open the whole thing so people can help themselves. Maybe I'll cut it in half. That's a good idea. And you'll see all the figs inside. Oh, all these dried figs. That's really great. I mean, that doesn't look half bad, does it? Hang on a moment. Let me just show you that again. I mean, how easy was that? It's 5 minutes, it looks really impressive, and there's no cooking at all. That's what I call fun.